So they've announced this White House UFC fight. Can we expect to see you on the card?
I can't promise anyone anything, but I have very strong feelings that I'll be on that card. It's going to be historic.
But who would you take on? Who would be your dream opponent?
I would want to take on whoever's holding the belt at the end of the year.
Any possible names you think?
Well, I mean, as of right now, the champion is Tom Aspinall, but we'll see who's the champion at the end of the year. And it'd be only fitting to have it.
I do think I'd have gone Aspinall, Jon Jones. Prime versus Prime.
Prime, I'll go Jon Jones.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, 100%.
You won't even give Tom a go at the Prime?
No. Like I said, I rate Jon Jones highly. I believe that he's the best to ever do it. And Tom is a, for now, he's the guy now, you know what I mean?
But if they would have fought, then you'd think that Tom had a strong chance because of the timing.
Yeah.
And fighting's always about timing. Boxing,
100%.
Jon Jones has finally broken his silence, and what he said has the whole fight world buzzing. After staying quiet for months and even announcing retirement, Jones has now pretty much confirmed he's getting ready to return to the octagon. But this isn't just any return. Jon Jones is preparing for what could be the most politically and culturally powerful UFC event we've ever seen. That's right, he's targeting a comeback on July 4th, 2026 for a historic UFC card happening on the actual grounds of the White House. That's right, the White House. The idea was made public by former US President Donald Trump earlier this month, and UFC President Dana White is all in. He's already locked in the date and even dropped hints about who will headline. And right at the center of all the talk is Jon Jones.
Kyle was asking him what would be his dream card, and he said Jones versus Aspinall, Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler. He thought that would be the perfect one. And the guy started talking about this, Kyle means. And Dana goes, the UFC landscape will have changed by then. We got a whole year. Hey, initially we thought this was just a thought. It's not a thought. It ain't a thought. When Dana starts saying stuff like definitive.
Back at UFC Baku, Dana White confirmed it. Jon Jones had told the UFC he was done, retired. That was it. Dana even called it definitive. And the UFC officially promoted Tom Aspinall to full undisputed heavyweight champ after holding the interim belt for nearly 600 days. A new era had begun, or so we thought. But behind the scenes, everything changed the moment Trump announced the White House card. Just 2 weeks after Dana said Jones was done, and after Jon posted what looked like a final goodbye to fans, he quietly re-entered the USADA drug testing pool. That's a required step for anyone who wants to fight again. Suddenly the rumors started swirling. Could Jones be planning a return? Could he actually be aiming to fight Aspinall? It's looking more real by the day.
One-shot knockout power. I believe that would make Tom Aspinall hesitate a little bit. And look, Tom would be the favorite in that fight. But if you don't think Derek Lewis has a shot to shut Tom Aspinall's lights out and steal that belt, not only be the knockout king, but add undisputed heavyweight world champion to his list, there's nothing more he needs. That would be the absolute fight to make for Tom Aspinall while he waits for the UFC White House card and hopefully gets Jon Jones after that. Now, again, it's easier to talk about getting a fight with Derek Lewis than it is to actually win it.
Jon Jones went on TikTok and opened up in a chat with the joy of everything. He didn't say it's 100% official, but he made it clear he feels strongly he'll be on that card. And of course, Jones being Jones, he didn't just talk about it like a normal fight. He compared it to some of the most iconic moments in sports history. Muhammad Ali's Thriller in Manila, Rumble in the Jungle. He believes the 2026 UFC White House card could be even bigger. Jones mentioned the current champion is Tom Aspinall, and if Tom still holds that title at the end of the year, Jones wants him. That's the fight, but he went even deeper. Jon talked about fighting on the White House lawn on America's 250th birthday. He said it would be the ultimate moment. He called it a chance to do something way bigger than just fighting. He said he's willing to risk it all for that one opportunity. This isn't just about legacy anymore. It's about something much more personal.
Jon Jones unretired.
And Jon Jones is going to, just for that fight.
He went back into the testing pool.
Right.
But Tyler and I debated because he hasn't fought in 4 freaking years.
Yeah. I would still pick him over whoever they would charge.
Been screwed.
Right. Well, Aspinall's he's the champ now. Right.
Yeah, he's the champ, but he hasn't been paid.
No, but I would assume that if Aspinall is successful and wins once or twice going into 26.
The UFC has now confirmed it, July 4th, 2026. That's the official date of the White House UFC card. It's going to be invite only, no public ticket sales, and it'll take place on the South Lawn, something that's never happened before. This event isn't just a spectacle, it's symbolic. An American UFC legend returning to fight at the White House on Independence Day, it means everything to the fans, the UFC, and especially to Jon Jones. Jones avoided fighting Tom Aspinall for years. Even when Tom climbed the rankings and won the interim belt, Jones stayed silent. He dodged questions. He even walked out of interviews when asked about him. People said he was ducking, but now everything's changed. The opponent still matters, but the setting, the moment, that's what pulled Jon back in. It's no longer about fear or timing. It's about something bigger.
And say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load of... I'm sorry. Never going to call that him the GOAT. Ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges?
Of course, there are still hurdles. Earlier this year, Jones and Aspinall were actually close to signing a fight deal. Dana White later confirmed it. The fight was almost finalized, but then at the last moment, Jones pulled out and announced retirement. It frustrated the UFC. It left Aspinall hanging, but once the White House card was announced, everything flipped. Jones called UFC headquarters himself, saying he wanted back in. That phone call was the spark that brought him back to the drug testing pool. And since then, Dana has made it clear the UFC is ready. Whatever Jon wants, they'll work with it. They're open to the fight.
We don't know if he was serious. Is he not retired anymore? Is he back in
You jump back in the pool, so...
How sick is that for you that now you kind of got this White House event for them and it's like... I feel like this is what brings...
No matter who popped up or who didn't or whatever, we would have put on an incredible card.
What would be the dream main event?
The dream main event right now would be Aspinall versus Jones.
Is it possible that...
Then there's the money. Jones has always demanded what he calls FU money for high-risk fights. Reports say his team asked for somewhere between $17 to $25 million for the Aspinall fight. Nobody knows exactly how close UFC got to that number, but now, with the White House event on the table, it might be worth it. This card could bring in global attention, politics, massive sponsorships, something UFC has never seen. That could finally make the Jones-Aspinall fight happen, no matter the cost.
I'm as big a Jon Jones fan as anybody, and I've always defended he's not afraid of Tom. He's willing to fight anybody. It's hard to not fall into that narrative here, though. You know, like, to me, like, fighting in the White House, like, that doesn't do it. But maybe I'm a different person. You know, maybe everybody looks at it different. For me, like, if you tell me they're going to have a fight at the White House, like, cool, all right, like, it'd be cool to do it. If not, whatever, like, a fight's a fight. Maybe Jon looks at...
On Aspinall's side, it's crystal clear. He's ready, and he's said it plainly. The fight hasn't happened because of Jon, not because of him. Now that he's officially the undisputed champ, he wants that unification fight. He wants to beat Jon Jones. The White House card raises the stakes, and though Jones said he'll fight whoever holds the belt at year's end, right now, it's still Aspinall. But he needs to hold on to that belt. If he loses it, Jon might pivot to someone else. But if Aspinall stays champion, he's the man Jones is coming for.
It's the legacy. To be able to go to the heavyweight division, take out everyone, and then take out the Jon Jones legend, you know, and then go back to even beating a few of these new school guys, will literally put Tom Aspinall as the GOAT of the heavyweight division.
Jones has also made it clear he's already training. He's fully focused and preparing to be ready if this opportunity becomes real. He's called it too historic to miss. Quietly, he's been working out at his gym in Albuquerque, slowly getting back into fight shape. He hasn't officially signed a deal yet, but insiders say he's ramping up the intensity. He's watching every move in the heavyweight division closely. There's no more pretending. Jones is coming back, and not just for any fight, he's aiming for July 2026. And get this, he might not be the only superstar on that card. Conor McGregor might be fighting that same night too.
Is there a fighter in MMA or the UFC that you just find absolutely insufferable? Because for me, it's Jon Jones, and there is no close second. Jon Jones defended his heavyweight title against a retired 42-year-old Stipe Miocic back in November. Ever since then, Jon has been saying, what has Tom Aspinall done to deserve to fight me? You know, besides Tom being the interim champ and having a defense with that belt, Jon has just found every possible way to not fight Tom.
McGregor hasn't fought since breaking his leg in his trilogy with Dustin Poirier at UFC 264, but talks about his return haven't stopped. BKFC President David Feldman recently said McGregor told him he's aiming for a UFC comeback in 2025. He's even re-entered the drug testing pool, which every fighter must do before returning. But there's a problem. He hasn't submitted a single drug test so far this year. That raises a big question. Is he really coming back? Can he be ready in time to fight on the same card as Jones? Meanwhile, Jon Jones has shared exactly why he came out of retirement, and it's not what most people expected.
Like Jon Jones finally wants to fight Tom Aspinall, but this time at the White House.
I told you guys that Jon Jones was playing chess, not checkers, this entire time. Someone just tweeted this at Jon Jones saying, ducking Tom Aspinall, ? Best decision you ever made, ? Jon responded, choosing when to attack and where you want the battlefield to be is not ducking, my friend. I tried telling every single one of you that Jon Jones was never ducking Tom Aspinall. It's very clear here that Jon Jones is playing.
At one point, Jones had really let it go. He gave up the belt. He believed his MMA journey was complete. But when the White House UFC card was announced, something changed in him. This wasn't just about chasing a title anymore. Not about fame. Not even about money. He said Trump's idea to host a fight at the White House stirred something deep inside him. He talked about being a proud American. He mentioned his strong ties to the military community, and for him, this wasn't just a fight. It was a way to serve. Not like a soldier, but through what he knows best, fighting. It became about something bigger than himself.
I'll just come out and ask you, do you think he's ducking Tom Aspinall?
No. Jon Jones, I said it a million times, I'll say it again, he's never ducked anybody other than that one goofy time with the Chael Sonnen thing. He's never ducked anybody, and I think the reality is whatever changed his mind with this fight, I don't know, you'd have to ask him that, but he's 38 years old, and I don't know.
Do you think if it was someone like Alex Pereira, he would fight them? And it's maybe Tom that he specifically doesn't fancy?
But even with all this patriotic talk, there's still business behind the scenes. Daniel Cormier, Jones's old rival and now UFC commentator, shared his thoughts. He said it never really made sense that Jon got to fight Stipe Miocic instead of unifying the title with Aspinall. Usually when there's an interim champ, you unify. That's how it goes. Cormier thinks the UFC made a deal with Jones, let him take the legacy fight with Miocic, and in return, he would come back to unify against Aspinall. But then, when the time came, Jones reportedly asked for $30 million. Some say he was trying to price himself out of it, hoping the UFC would say no. Cormier didn't sugarcoat it. He said Jon has no more excuses. He needs to take the fight.
Say, no, you're not going to take this. And do you know what Jon Jones did? You have it. I don't want to fight. You can have it. This is unbelievable. The greatest of all time. What a load. I'm sorry, never going to call him the GOAT ever again. Because being the greatest of all time is not just about winning. And that's what Jon Jones doesn't understand. It's about how you conduct yourself throughout the whole of your career. Are you willing to fight the biggest challenges, the biggest tests, go in there?
UFC White House is crazy, dude. How's that even a thing? Is that allowed? Like, how is Donald even allowed to do that? Be kind of gangster, though. Chandler versus McGregor. Be kind of gangster. Aspinall, Jon Jones wants to fight on it. Classic. Back in the testing pool after 2 weeks. Bro is a troll and a half. He's not having his title back. It just can't be happening. All the ground trip would be sick.
Cormier made another powerful point. Legacy. Even though Aspinall is the official champion now, there's still a piece missing. Without beating Jon Jones, there's always going to be a gap in that story. Cormier knows the feeling. He said despite all his own wins and titles, he could never say he was truly the best because he never beat Jones. That haunted him, even in retirement. And now, Aspinall could be facing the same thing. People might always say, yeah, he was champ, but he never beat Jon. It's a heavy thing, especially in a division already full of confusion. Remember, when Francis Ngannou left the UFC, Jones beat Cyril Gane to become champ. Some fans say Ngannou is still the real lineal champ. Now with Jones vacating and Aspinall being promoted, the whole lineage feels broken. If Aspinall beats Jones, everything makes sense again. The story gets closure. UFC commentator John Anik also chimed in. He thinks the actual fight between Jones and Aspinall could happen earlier, December 2025 in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. Speaking to MMA Junkie, Anik shot down the idea of Jones returning to Madison Square Garden. After all, he already fought and beat Miocic there in November 2024. Vegas, Anik said, is the true fight capital. No state taxes, great setup, fighters love it. And Dana White has hinted the same, that they're working on the fight for 2025. That would mean Jones comes back twice. Once to unify, then again at the White House. 2 huge fights, back to back, less than a year apart. Let's talk about the fighters themselves. Jon Jones is a 2-division champ with a 28-1 record, and that one loss, a disqualification that many still argue shouldn't count. He dominated light heavyweight for years, then moved up and crushed Cyril Gane in 2023 to win the heavyweight belt. In 2024, he knocked out Stipe Miocic in round 3 at UFC 309. But Jones's career hasn't been smooth. Legal troubles, failed drug tests, and a chaotic history followed him. There was a hit and run in 2015, test violations in 2016 and 2017, and a strange incident in 2024 with a drug testing agent. He avoided suspension after anger management, but let's face it, his career has always been unpredictable. Every fight feels like his last, yet somehow he's always back. Tom Aspinall is different. At 31, he's still rising. He holds a 15-3 record with a stunning 92% finish rate. In 2023, he grabbed the interim belt by knocking out Sergey Pavlovich in just 69 seconds. Then in 2024, he defended it by knocking out Curtis Blades in only 1 minute. He's got power, speed, movement you don't usually see in heavyweights, but he's frustrated. He's made jokes online about fighting for an interim of the interim belt. He's tired of the delays. He's been ready while Jones sat out. He respects Jones, but he doesn't understand the waiting, the negotiations, the silence. From Aspinall's view, the longer it takes, the more uncertain it becomes. Well, what do you think? Will Jones finally step up? Will this fight happen at the White House or even sooner? Let us know below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.